Now we'll go over reviewing and changing the status of agenda items. As the meeting progresses, it's time to add and update agenda items. The meeting recorder will use the Add from List and create new suggestion options under New Business to include any additional items for discussion. They'll also take notes in the discussion field and can add any relevant files or action items during the conversation. If new suggestions are added during the meeting, the recorder will be listed as the owner of those new items by default. But don't worry, they can enter the name of the actual task owner in the discussion field. Once an agenda item has been discussed, the committee decides its status, and the recorder will document it by selecting one of these options: postpone, carry forward to next meeting, complete, or reject. If no action is selected from these options and the meeting is adjourned, the item will default to the carry forward option. A quick reminder, an agenda item cannot be completed or rejected if there are open action items attached to it. Those will need to be resolved first. The recorder can also move through the sections of the meeting, such as Old Business. In the Old Business section, select an item to discuss, which will highlight the item and open the discussion box. Here, the recorder can capture notes, add action items, and update the item's status. When you select Add Action Item button, a pop-up box will appear for you to enter all the details. You'll be able to name the action item, set a due date, choose a status such as created, assigned, or completed, marking its priority level, and add discussion notes. You can also attach files, add responsible members, and finalize the task. Once the action item is added, it will be recorded in the Action Items section, and committee members assigned to it will receive an email with all the details. If postponing an agenda item, click the Postpone option at the bottom of the form. A pop-up box will appear, giving you the option to select how many months the committee wants to postpone the item. They can postpone an item for up to 11 months, and once the current meeting is adjourned, a 12-month option will be available. Just remember, these decisions should be made with consensus from the committee members during the meeting. If quorum isn't met, they can still make decisions like postponing, rejecting, or completing agenda items. To carry forward an agenda item to the next meeting, simply click the Carry Forward to Next Meeting option at the bottom of the form. This will automatically add the item to the agenda for the next meeting. If the agenda item isn't resolved by the end of the meeting, it will also be carried forward. You will now see a Need to Confirm icon appear in the Meeting Agenda column associated with this agenda item. To reject an agenda item, click Reject Agenda Item. A pop-up box will appear where you can explain why the committee decided to remove this item from the agenda. After entering the reason, click Reject. You will now see a crossed circle icon appear in the Meeting Agenda column associated with this agenda item. If a message pops up saying, "Cannot reject or complete agenda item," please close all agenda action items. That means there are still open action items attached to it that need to be resolved first. Once rejected, the item will have a rejected icon next to it. Finally, to complete an agenda item, select Complete at the bottom of the form. This will mean it's been fully addressed and no further action is required. You will now see a checkmark icon appear in the Meeting Agenda column associated with this agenda item. That's all there is to reviewing and changing status of agenda items.